In this video, I'm going to be breaking down every single detail that you need to know about using a VPN, why it's important, and how your information could be at risk if you're not using one right now. Now, to truly understand what a VPN is, we need to start with the most basic definition. What is a VPN? A VPN, or a virtual secure private network, is essentially a way to keep your information safe between the point of origin that it comes from and the arrival point that it goes to. The internet is naturally a very unsecure place, and with a VPN, it just allows you to have much more anonymity and privacy in your overall data transactions. So the next question is naturally, how does this process work? When you're using a VPN, the company that runs the VPN itself has a server that you're going to end up connecting to in order to utilize the privacy and anonymity that that VPN comes with. These servers are literally all over the world, and you can connect to almost any one of them in any country you can imagine. If you're using a computer in America but want to look like you're using a computer in Europe, Italy, Russia, or any other country, it's totally allowed, and actually it's quite easy to get set up as well. Now, once your device that you're using is connected to one of these VPN servers, you're actually assigned an entirely new IP address. Your IP address is essentially a unique signifier of what your device is, and more specifically, who's using it. With this IP address, you can tell a lot about a user with their personal information, private details, and even potentially cause them a lot of problems by attacking that IP address with denial of service attacks. The benefit of utilizing a VPN in a different country allows you to take that IP address that you're originally using, which could probably be based in America or whatever place you're doing it out of, and ultimately mask it with a completely different IP address in a completely different country, thereby giving you so much more privacy and anonymity and making you look like a complete stranger in the eyes of hackers and bad actors on the internet. Another benefit about this VPN network is that it's unreadable, meaning that anybody who's trying to access it or look at the information inside of it can't even get into it in the first place, meaning that all of the data that you are transacting in and all of the actions that you're taking are completely anonymous. Now, to make sure the VPN is actually changing your IP address so that way no one can see what you're doing, all you simply have to do to check this is to head over to a website where there's an IP finder, and you'll see exactly what IP address you have. All you have to do is toggle your VPN off, check the IP address when it's off, and then toggle it on and check the IP address when it's on. Doing this will show you exactly what your regular IP address is versus the IP address that you're using when you're connected to the VPN. Now, one of the age-old questions with VPNs that I see a lot of people continue to ask is, why would I use one in the first place? I'm not a bad person. I don't have anything to hide. Why does anyone care what I have to do on the internet or about my data or interactions? And while that might necessarily be the case, it's also important to recognize that privacy is becoming less and less commonplace on the internet as the days go by. We're seeing more and more large corporations and conglomerates sell your data to other companies for top dollar. Because of this, these companies take pride in making sure that they know exactly what kind of data you're producing, the types of interest that you have, the likes, the dislikes, and any action that you take on the internet, they have a clear scope on. Because of this, they can take that data and then resell it to some of these larger corporations, meaning that they know exactly who you are, how to market to you, and more importantly, how to get you to buy whatever it is they're selling. While you may not mind this and think that this might be more convenient, there are plenty of people out there who would say that they have their reservations about this. Because of this, VPNs are very effective in keeping those tracking cookies off of your overall internet browsing history and just keeping you in a much more private, anonymous state. And one of the other benefits about having a VPN isn't even just privacy. Plenty of people use VPNs to watch some of their favorite shows in locations where they aren't available. If you want to watch the British version of Netflix or the Swedish version of Netflix, you can't do that in America because, of course, those versions aren't available here. However, if you wanted to start watching them, using a VPN and connecting to a server in those countries will allow you to fully access those streaming services and platforms with ease. This also goes for things that are blocked locationally or regionally by different laws or regulations that you might have. If you want to be able to view certain pieces of information depending on the state or country that you're in, it could be really helpful to have a VPN to access those different sites and places that you want to look at. One of the nice parts about VPNs too is that you're not locked into one specific server once you pick it. You can literally change your VPN server on the fly, not having to worry about getting stuck using one server in one location. Plus, you can even do it domestically if you want, meaning that if you want to connect to a server in Texas or a server in Florida, you can also do that as well. Now, that was a brief overview of how VPNs work on a very simplistic level. Let's dive into the super technical part of how VPNs actually take your data and wrap it in a super private, secure connection. Like we said before, every single device that has access to the internet has an IP address. Now, that IP address makes it very easy for Wi-Fi routers and internet providers to actually see exactly what device is making a request to get something from the internet. Now, the way this works is that when you're on your computer, let's say you're on Google and you're about to look up a certain website, essentially a request is sent to your modem that then goes to your internet service provider. The internet service provider takes a look at this request and then sends back another signal with more information for that request. Now, this is where a VPN comes into play, because for most people, that interaction, that transaction that you're having between your internet service provider, your Wi-Fi modem, and your device is completely unsecure. Anybody on the internet with a little bit of know-how can figure out exactly how to see that transaction and know exactly what you did, where you went, how you downloaded it, or whatever it is you're doing on the internet. What a VPN essentially does here is that it takes that middle transactional part and removes it almost completely, meaning that nobody can see what device it came from, nobody can see where it went, and nobody can see how it's coming back. To anybody looking at this transaction, they're just going to see a bunch of random IP addresses talking to each other from different parts around the world depending on where you're connected, meaning you're not going to have a clear idea of who's accessing it, where they're accessing it from, and there's really no evidence. This is huge because internet service providers have a really bad track record when it comes to privacy. Internet service providers, even with just basic HTTPS connections, can literally take that metadata that you provide them and steal it and keep it for themselves. Another great benefit of VPNs is using it if you have a blocked website on a specific network or program that you're on. Some people may be familiar with this if you're at school and you can't get access to certain websites that you need to use for projects or schoolwork because the specific network has blocked that website. Thanks to a VPN, you don't have to worry about these blocks and you can easily get onto those websites with no problem. VPNs in general are a very effective way of getting your information privately and safely into your hands and back into the internet service provider hands without causing any problems with anonymity or privacy. Now that you have a clear idea of how VPNs work, let's talk a little bit about some of the best VPNs that you can get started using today. We'll start this whole process with NordVPN, which if you guys actually want to get 4 free months on top of any plan that you choose, all you have to do is head down to the link down in the description below and get signed up. When you guys click that link, you'll be taken to a page that looks like this. With the coupon code EDVPN, you'll basically get 4 extra free months on top of any plan that you end up choosing. To see what plans are available, you hit the Get the Deal button, and it should take you to a page that breaks down all the different pricing as you can see here. At the standard pricing, we have $2.91 per month. At the plus pricing, we have $3.76 per month. And at the ultimate pricing, we have $5.48 per month. Once again, all plus 4 extra free months on any plan you end up choosing. Each of these plans have their own benefits. The standard plan is the most bare bone one. The plus having a little bit better optionality with tracker and ad blockers, malware protection, high-speed VPN security, and of course data breach scanners. You also have the ultimate plan, which has all of these features, including $1 million in coverage for identity theft recovery and cyber extortion protection of up to $100K in coverage as well. NordVPN is a great option because it's extremely accessible, easy to use, and one that most people nowadays are using when it comes to utilizing a VPN. We'd also recommend using a host of other VPNs like Surfshark, PureVPN, UltraVPN, and a host of others that will all be linked down in the description below. Now, just to give you guys a super bare bones quick overview of how to actually utilize a VPN, here is NordVPN. As you can see here, you're presented with a huge world map that you can go literally anywhere in the world on, and wherever you want to connect and show that your IP address is transmitting from, you can do that by simply clicking on one of these blue dots that they have right here. Let's say I want to go to Italy and I want to connect to Rome. All I have to do is hit this connect to Rome button right here, and it will then connect me to a server in Italy, and it will give me a completely new IP address that I can connect from and utilize, which is really, really cool. And again, it's any of these other countries are also available too. Let's say I wanted to go somewhere in England or the Great Britain, anywhere up here. I can also go to London. Really anywhere in the world that you want to connect to, there should be a server somewhere in that country. In general, it's a very easy system to use. You simply hit the button right here and it'll connect you to wherever you'd like to go. If you want to disconnect, you go up to the top right here, hit the disconnect button, and you're disconnected from your VPN easily. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. We post a ton of videos on this channel about VPNs, how they work, and how they can protect your online interactions. If you guys are curious about any of the VPNs we talked about or used in this video, check the links out down in the description below. They are affiliate links and we do earn a small commission for each sign up that we get. So thank you in advance for supporting the channel. But other than that, that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.